I'd like to welcome Doris Wise of Jews Can Shoot and Children of Holocaust Survivors and the Armed Jew Marketplace, etc. A lot of good groups she's involved with and really started. And I want to talk to her last on the show because now we can step back from the actual events of the shooting in Alexandria today and talk about the lessons we can learn and just about things in general from a very pro-Second Amendment perspective. Doris, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Adam, for having me.
Okay, your general take on what went on and what we need to learn from it, most of all.
Well, the first thing we need to learn is the importance of the Second Amendment and that we are our own first line of defense. We don't walk around we don't have a security detail. We are not surrounded by Capitol Police who are trained. We're by ourselves. Imagine if this would have happened at a Little League game in a neighborhood where there are no police. It would have been a massacre. It would have been a massacre at this GOP baseball game as well if Scalise's detail had not been there. So we have to remember that we are our own first line of defense. This is why we have the Second Amendment. We need to exercise the Second Amendment. We need to get the 20,000 anti-gun rights laws off the books, and we all need to be those of us who are law-abiding and want to need to be armed, and we need to be trained. There's simply no other way. It's a good guy with a gun takes down a bad guy with a gun.
And that's what happened today. Exactly what happened.
And that's
today.
exactly what happened. And there was right. And there. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there was somebody there, DeSantis, Representative DeSantis, who said himself, even a baseball bat wouldn't have stopped him. It still would have been a massacre. It was other good guys with guns that took down bad guys with guns.
Exactly. And by the way, Congressman DeSantis, as you know, is the congressman right here in the Shark Coast of Florida where we are. A great Second Amendment guy, great congressman in general. I don't know what there is to say other than that. First of all, in terms of the layout of the field, what could have been done differently that, say everyone had been very well informed about how self-defense, and I know you give seminars about what to do in these situations. Without having expertise on the situation, but what first comes to mind? How would you have reacted, or how would you like to think you would have reacted in this situation?
I would like to think that I would have. You know what? I'm telling you the truth, Adam. I can't even put myself in that position. The life that we have now here, the America that we're living in right now, is beyond my comprehension. So I'm honestly not. I haven't given that any thought right now. I am just full of anger. I'm full of anger because, and I'm going to take this a little bit off from what your question is. I'm sorry. Hopefully maybe I can answer it with Scott Kirshner.
You can hijack as much as you want.
Okay. All right. I'm going to talk to Scott Kirshner, who has been doing these seminars for us, and perhaps he can draft something up, and I will be happy to post it and send it to you. But as you know, we live right now in a country that has been transformed by Obama, which is what he said he was going to do, and he was successful beyond his wildest imagination, which, by the way, with the help of the Republicans. He didn't do this on his own. He had help there. And the shooter today said, he went up there, he went up to them, and he said, who's playing? Who are the Democrats? Who are the Republicans? And then he shot at the Republicans. Okay? That is too reminiscent of what the Nazis did in the Holocaust. They went up to people, are you Jewish? If they were Jewish, he shot them. They were shot. Right. I don't see any difference Okay? The Democrats are calling for unity. The Democrats are the ones who created. Yes, you know what unity means.
The day before they ask for gun control, that's what it means. Before
and you know
Chuck
what?
Schumer comes out and says, common sense gun control. That's all we ask for.
Right, and the I understand that the governor of Virginia is already calling for stricter gun control laws.
Oh yeah,
and
but he's particularly sensitive to this. Hillary's boy.
Oh, okay.
Nice plastic surgery on that guy, by the way.
And from what I understand, a great many anti-gun laws came into place after attempted assassinations.
Oh, is that right?
So, yes, I'm looking to confirm that also. I've sent out some emails to people who I know who are very knowledgeable on how the laws came about. So right now people are talking about unity and we want the Democrats to change. I'm really sorry. It's too late. It's like somebody who has already lung cancer and they're talking about how bad smoking is. Mm-hmm. It's too late. We are in absolutely too easy. And we'd want to go to words before we want to go to what we really need to do. Mm-hmm. And
what
that's what
we need to do.
We need to exercise our Second Amendment rights. Mm-hmm. It only boils down to that, because we have to use what they use. They're going to come after us with guns. Mm-hmm. We have to stop them with guns. Mm-hmm. I don't see any other. I don't see another kind of an answer.
So what does that mean in practical terms? Like, you go to the gun range, you post a picture on Facebook and says, "Thank you, Comrade Bernie, for inspiring me to do this. I know you're not a proximate cause of what happened, but you know that you were a small part of it. And even though you like to be this magnanimous, harmless Jewish guy who's never been in a fight in his life, probably, but you know the type. Come on."
Right.
And
they're
very
do
tough
that
with keyboards and speeches.
You can do that as well. But in the meantime, you can go find a class, find a trainer, start to go to the range, start going to classes. When you're ready, buy yourself a gun, train with that gun, become educated about the Second Amendment, get involved in Second Amendment rights and keeping our rights. If we do that and enough people are armed, he wouldn't walk up to a place. He walked up. He must have known that there was going to be shooting back at him, because he probably figured that that there would be some security there. He was probably ready to give up his life. Who else do we know? Let me think. Who's ready to give up their lives in order to? Okay.
One of the great religions. As a lot of
politicians say. Exactly. So how different is that? We are in a civil war right now. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about a civil war. We are in a civil war. Mm-hmm. I want to survive. You want to survive. I don't know of any other way to stop somebody who wants to kill me with a gun than for me to shoot them before they have that chance to kill me.
Mm-hmm. So if you would have been there, it would have been lock and load, essentially. Or you'd
I would like to think that there would be others, mm-hmm. and everybody would get up and do what they need to do, make sure that there was no innocence in the way, assess their surroundings, take a damn good aim, and shoot the guy.
I like what let's be a little more mundane rather than talking about an issue that everyone's going to forget about in 3 days. And let's educate people for the last 5-6 minutes that I have you on here. Just how you calmly just express it now, what to do in that situation. Just give people a little bit of firearms training here, just in terms of the mindset, so we can learn something useful.
If you are a trained shooter, when a situation happens, you would want to be trained in situational awareness, assessing you hear the shots, You recognize them as shots. That's another thing, by the way. We have to learn to recognize, to differentiate a gunshot from, I don't know, a car, whatever a car does, backing it, whatever popping sounds, or perhaps fireworks or something. The gunshots are distinctive. We have to recognize them. Once we recognize that, we find out where they're coming from. We take our gun out. We assess the situation. We make sure that there is no innocence. We tell people who are around us to get down, to whatever, to calm them down. Get up, take an aim, and take them down.
Tell us about the webinar that you just had. I know I had you on last week before you did it, but it's
thank you for that, by the way.
Now. Let's we got another 3-4 minutes.
Yes, every day we seem to become more relevant, don't we? Unfortunately.
Yes. So let me mention JewsCanShoot.com. Just make it easy for people here. Right,
and from there you can get to all my other sites and classes and webinars and anything that helps you to be prepared for what we clearly have not only in our future but in our present. So
teach me
sorry, Adam, what was the question again?
Not to cannibalize your webinar, but to just hook people in the last couple minutes that we have about why they definitely want to be there. And so time will run out here, and they say, oh, I wanted to hear much more, and they'll have no option but to go to your webinar.
Then yes. So and access to the video from part 1 will be available in the next, hopefully by the end of today, and then part 2 is Monday night, and part 3 is the following Sunday. But essentially, Scott Kirshner is giving us the tools to have some knowledge and what to do if we are faced in different situations of these, what he refers to as active killers, which is what they end up being, but not in this case. He was just an active shooter who died, and in active shooter situations, which I believe we're going to have more of. He gives us a lot of tools about situational awareness, about what to do if you do not have a gun, which, by the way, would not have worked today at that baseball game. But in different cities, we don't know where we're ever going to be because we are on the defense and those attacks are on the offense. So we have to learn about a variety of ways to protect ourselves in a variety of places because we can't pick where they're going to attack us.
Right. So give me another situation besides the supermarket that he talked about at the first webinar. Right now I am very sorry, but I can't recall anything specific. I'm so overwhelmed by this morning. I just want to say that I get up now in the morning, and before I even have my coffee, I'm afraid to turn on the television or the news for fear of what I'm going to hear. And what we heard today, when I woke up today, what I heard is it's become sort of like, oh my, another day, another attack, right,
on us.
Well, the good thing is where I am on the East Coast and being an early riser, it's generally not that. I have to wait till I'm a little bit into the day before the bad stuff starts to occur. Okay, so the good thing is you get to have your coffee before you hear about it. Pretty much. Yeah, no, it's scary. So you're armed with caffeine, you see? Yes, I guess that's one way of looking at it. Okay, we just have less than a minute. Just final thoughts, and again, where people can reach you and the details of the webinar, just one last time. Okay, so my big thing, regardless of whether you come to Jews Can Shoot or any other of the wonderful organizations and training classes that are available to us, even in California and across the country and in Illinois as well, is learn to shoot, become armed, learn about situational awareness, learn how to protect yourself, learn how to protect those around you. Become an enemy to our enemy, whether they're coming from another country or whether they're living right here.
And
Great.
we can be reached at www.jewscanshoot.com. One word.
Thank you, Doris Wise, for, frankly, the most practical, useful stuff that anyone will hear on this show today. All right.
Thank you, Adam. Bye-bye.
Hope not to talk to you about something like this that soon again, though I'll have you on the show one way or the other, but hopefully it won't be in response on a day, when I didn't plan to have you when the day started. I didn't plan to have you.
Soon we'll be talking good news.
Hopefully. All right. Thanks, Doris.
Yes. Thank you, Adam.